Leona here. Another day, not in Los Angeles, but somewhere else in California. Just had my PTSD trigger for the day. I don't know how it is, but every time I use the fucking elevator, there's a gaggle of women like right there going. It's just like I don't need that kind of energy. I really don't, and I'm sorry for your ears because I have to deal with that in my ears. I mean, they're staff, so the chance of them doing anything is kind of low, but yet still, it doesn't sit well with me. Like anytime I try and leave this room, this building, there's just some sort of nonsense. It's just abuse. It really is. The amount of energy that they waste on that, they could maybe solve world hunger. Like I don't know who's doing this, but like, what are your priorities? Because if your priority is just to play peekaboo with Ian and Leona, then you set the bar like really, really, really low. Went down another YouTube rabbit hole of videos about Annihilation, which I bought because I love that film. I really want to read the book because I want to see where the departure from the original text is because I really love it. I really love that film. I love when Hollywood takes a chance and is so meta, but also like really talking about itself in the most literal sense. Annihilation was all about the shimmer, this field that reflects and refracts and changes whatever's in it. Put a plant and a human together, the plant and the human kind of just become more like each other. Isn't that kind of what California is? I mean, they say mimicry is the highest form of flattery, but these people are trained to mimic. They're trained to get you to speak so that they can model your fucking speech patterns because they want to make a movie out of you, because you're interesting and because you're not Caucasian, so you actually have a life. And I'm sorry to be so deprecating against Caucasian people, but like, who the fuck came up with this idea to pretty much follow me around, bother me, and then make movies about it? Because I ain't get a dime for it. So, whatever. I mean, it's not about the money, it's more about, like, can you just not bother me? Like, I get up, I'm, trying to get my dog to, go for a walk because she's a lazy bitch. She want to sleep in. I want to sleep in too. But anyway, she's getting old. So I try and get her to go outside and go for a walk, but like as soon as I exit the elevator, it's just the way is blocked, and they're like women just like way too close. And I don't know, it's just maybe it was just poor timing, but how can it be poor timing every time? There are no coincidences. I'm dealing with a situation where clearly I'm being psychologically manipulated, but towards what? Towards what? Because as much as I wrestle back and forth with the idea of, do I take the office or do I not take the office? Like, what do I do? What do I do? Because deep down, I'm an Amazonian prince. I live in the rainforest, and I don't associate with people. I really don't. So why would I take an office where guaranteed you're just gonna either bump into someone or it's just bullshit. And if you take the stairs, you're just okay. Well, now you're really cornered. with people? Do you really want to be cornered with people? Because, I still can't wrap my head around the last time I gave a blowjob, because the last time I gave a blowjob to someone, and the first thing that comes out of the mouth is like, thanks, I need that. But then the second was, can my friend, who is a girl, uh, come and hang out with you, and we can just hang out together? Like, what? What? Like, I just gave you a blowjob. I mean, get the fuck out. Like, we got that accomplished. Now get the fuck out. But he wanted to play house with me. Like, no, like that's not happening. And I know, like, people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about sucking cock. You shouldn't talk about that. Celebrities wouldn't talk about that. It's like, no, if you listen to most celebrities, the most of the music is about sucking. Touch that little dangly thing in the back of my throat. What the fuck do you think she's talking about? It's not playing chess. It's not playing chess. It's not shuffleboard. She's talking about sucking cock. So why not? Why not just be honest? Because I'm sick and tired of the phony baloney things of watching celebrity interviews where I'm not a celebrity, but either way, celebrity interviews where they just skirt around the idea of sexuality. It's like, I can't say that. Oh, that's dirty. I couldn't say that. Like Kylie Minogue is on Graham Norton like all the time, and there's the pseudo like sexual vibe, like that she gives off sometimes, where it's like, is it sexual? Is it just her personality normally? But either way, you listen to her songs. That woman is horned up. Like she got those good hormones, because like damn, like every fucking song is just like she's I listen to Tension. I mean, Slow. I mean, like all of her songs. And there's a reason why they're so good. There's a reason why Kylie Minogue is one of my favorite artists. It's like her song "Get Out of My Way" is like, well, you a little slow on the uptake, so I'm gonna head to the dance floor, and you can watch if you want, but I'm gonna get my freak on, but get out of my way. Like that's what that song is. She surrounded herself with like gay guys. So the gay guys are like dancing, dancing, but the whole song is about, I'm gonna fuck this man and I'm gonna let you watch because you weren't ready at the time when I was ready. Like, at least she is honest when she's doing her music, but she she's so classy. I think that's the issue. I think she just reached a point where she's a super classy woman, but you see her in advertisements, and I remember she does one where she like rides, I think, a mechanical bull or something like that, and she's in the saddle and she's going back and forth and everything. She's flipping around it. I'm also thinking of Beyonce at the same exact time. But either way, she does all this movement, and you just say to yourself, she's having fun. She's liberated. She's enjoying herself. And as much as I support that, I don't want that action on me. If Kylie Minogue wanted to, yeah, that's fine. She's Kylie Minogue. Like it would be a gift. It would be a gift. It would be a pleasure, Kylie. But just these random, just staff people for a building, it's just like, no, no, no. I don't doll myself up and make myself look pretty for you. I do it for white thugs to give me a man load. Okay? Gay. Gay. And I know that in the world of celebrity, you're supposed to keep that a secret. It's supposed to be hinted at. And then you can do a film where you spend 30 minutes just blasting your face with someone's breath, and you're breathing into them, and the women will go fucking wild, and they'll start double clicking that mouse just to this, the what if you leaned in and kissed him, because that's what they all want. Like, women are more horned up for gay men than gay men are for each other. That's just weird, just I read gay literature because I like the idea of the romance. And then you go and say, "Oh my god, that author like really, encapsulated everything." And it's just like, it was by a woman. And that's fine, because, the book is good. I'm not going to deny that, it was well written. But as I said, I'm I'm just too traumatized because of the PTSD. Like, Master Sergeant Miranda was the sexually aggressive woman that I just don't feel like I want to be part of that scene ever. Now, I'm not saying, a demure woman would be any better, but I'm just completely turned off the whole entire thing. Completely turned off it. And like, all of these women, camping out when I exit my room, like, that's not helping things, because if you're trying to, seduce me, and the bisexuality that I have inside of me, it's just not gonna work with random, like, street walking people. Unless they're male, because I like a little bit of trash now and then. Cause you just clean them up, you shine them up, you shine them up, and then, you just it's just amazing. I mean, as much as I lambast Los Angeles, they did give me, this tattooed, like, skateboard punk with like a huge huge fucking cock, and like so gentle when he fucks too, and it was just so amazing, because I literally woke up and he was there, and I don't know how that happened, but it was nice. And it's just, I don't know why you couldn't keep doing that. If that's okay, so if California was like, okay, okay, we want to seduce you into being an actor, like, how could we get you to do that? How could we get you to do that? It's like, okay, like, we'll deliver, like, hot guys to you, and, we'll let you make the first move, whatever. I would say, morally, that is so wrong. Give me more. Give me more. Me- Come on. Like, it was super fucking hot. Like, I still get off to that fucking fantasy. Like, that was just amazing. Amazing sex. He was so sweet and gentle, and, just like such a tender lover. And it's just so rare to find that in a dude. So, also, I'm dealing with the PTSD like 24/7. So, it was a nice break from that. But then again, it wasn't consistent. And now I'm at this point where, I'm just saying, well, gee, Willikers, some people are actors because they want the big fat paycheck. It's like, no, I want a big fat ass to bounce on this. So, yeah, that's what I want. Like, I don't know about other people, but, I mean, I'm all about man on man action. I am not interested in women being on me, and being on a screen. like being on a screen changes people. There's a reason why I talk about like Kristen Ritter from Jessica Jones is because I saw her on a screen, like a big, big, big screen, and I watched her have sex several times. Uh, I watch a lot of those kind of things, and I'm like, I am so fucking invested in that. And I didn't even check, that in the photograph that I have with her, she's like literally putting her hand on my shoulder. I'm like, I felt for you. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I'm just a fanboy for that. But if I was on a screen, I would have that effect on people. I would have that effect on women. And it's just, do I want that effect on women? Because women pay your bills. I'm not stupid, women are your fucking fan base. Men are fucking fickle, but women, they'll set up forums. they'll they'll be presidents of your fan club. They will organize the t-shirts and everything. They will get shit done. But yet still, I'm a nerd who just wants to go to Mars. So that kind of dampens the whole being a star thing that California thinks that I could be, because I'm incredibly funny and I'm Brit. Well, half Brit, half Brit. But it's more than enough to consider myself a full Brit, because no one is a full Brit at this point. But it was interesting to see that video about Annihilation, mostly because it's just two Marvel actors in the same film together. You got Apocalypse next to Jane Foster, and it's just, these people can't keep away from each other. Just like magnets, they just gravitate. It's just, mm. And plus, he was like the it guy of that year, so everybody wanted to work with him, which is wonderful. I love the film. His accent in it is like so weird, but because there's just no way. There's just no way that that accent comes out of his mouth. It was so bad. I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm sorry, Oscar Isaac. I'm sorry. I mean, I really shouldn't talk because I really do not speak English well either. But that was just a strange, strange accent. It was a strange, because he's like so fucking southern. But then you look at his face and you're just like, are you sure? Are you sure that you were subscribing to the countryside, looking like that, looking like you do? Like, are you sure about that? Because that was a choice, dude. You made that choice, and the director said, "Do what you do, Oscar. Do what you do." And no one checked him. No one said, "Dude, that's a weird way of conveying words." But I'm hardly one to judge because I sound strange all the time. So much that they parried me in Madam Web. It's like, what accent is that? It's just like, well, some people just speak garbled English. I do. Like, no offense. It's just, it was weird. It was weird. But either way, back to Annihilation. This whole idea of you're in this area where everything reflects and morphs around you, and there's this alien creature looking to morph itself, to copy you, to be you, imprint your memories. Can we get you talking so we can know your story, because your story can be someone else's story now? I'm like, ugh. Like, it's just a little weird. It's a little weird, but you know it's supposed to be fiction, but that's literally what California is. You come here, and these people just want to insinuate themselves into your life. Can my friend who's a girl come hang out with you? I cannot let that go. It's just like, dude, like, I'm not saying we had a moment. I'm just saying, there was a cock in her mouth. What the fuck do I need her for? Do you think I need a cheering section? Is she the towel girl? Is just gonna like squeezy him off, and just be like, no, 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 let me get it all out. Let me get it all out for you. Don't worry, I got that one. I got that. Let me get it all out for you. What the fuck is she supposed to do in that scenario? I understand the concept of a threesome. I understand the concept of get the fuck out. That's the concept I wanted to teach him. And out he went. And he was like, can I give you my number? And I was just like, dude, get the fuck out. You came in my mouth. Thank you. Wasn't that good? Oh, I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed because like the dude just wasn't eating his spinach. He just wasn't eating his spinach. I just I tasted it and I was like, dude needs to eat leafy green vegetables. I can feel it in that load. What can I say? It's a gift. It's a gift. I recently reapplied to OnlyFans. This is my second time applying for OnlyFans. It's a lot easier to just like go and cam for like, apply, I guess, for a porn website. Look, I am age. If I'm not going the wonderful world of Disney, then I should be in Jizz. Appearing in Jizz, covered in jizz. That is where I want to be because that is life. That is the pleasure. Like people talk about actors, they get mansions, they get cars. I'm like, no, show me where the bitches at. Show me where the bitches are at because that's all I'm about. I'm only interested in hot man on man action. Like anything else, like I'm not interested in. Okay, I am interested in going to Mars. Nerd. I am interested in going to Mars, but I'm more interested in sucking off some really hot white thugs. That if that could happen, because there are some hot ones in this neighborhood, but I'm not looking to get hate crimes. So I say, yeah, get the fucking OnlyFans because when you're on OnlyFans, you're on that express train to Pound Town. There is no pretense about it because if your business is being a slut, you just hang out with other sluts and enjoy your slutty, slutty life while other people watch and shower you with money. I mean, of course, OnlyFans is a little upset because I'm supposed to be on the other side. I'm supposed to be the daddy that tells these ingenues what daddy likes so that they could perform for daddy. Imagine what it would be like to be on daddy's lap. And that I perpetuate a lot of OnlyFans creators to donate their semen on camera to me. To me. But, there's a part of me that says, well, looking, maybe I should be on the other side. Maybe I should be on camera. I mean, I'm not saying a lot of people probably want to see me make the cum face, but maybe someone does. I'm a veteran. I don't get much. I don't. And what I do, I spend on my beautiful bitch over there, my little white queen, and then the other, for my Australian king. Other than that, I mean, shit. I mean, I don't have a lot. I mean, I have to diversify in order to survive. I mean, do you know how expensive it is to have popcorn delivered from a theater because you can't go to a theater? It's expensive. So, I mean, if I have to undo a button or to entice you to come to my OnlyFans, if that ever happens, then fuck it. I guess that's what I will do because sex is that currency that America is so fucking afraid of. They're so fucking afraid of a world where people are happy and they are fucking. I look at that film Caligula and yeah, it's like super violent, but that orgy scene is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because you think to yourself, "Well, why can't it always be that way? Why can't you just live in an area where you can you imagine that? I think about this. I think about this. Think of like not a resort, but like a whole town where everyone, in a way, is up for it. That there was no guesswork. There's no like, is it yes? Is it no? It's all yes. A whole town. You go for your coffee, and the barista, gives you a wink, and you just say, when's your shift over, and then after that, it's just now that does happen. That does happen, but it doesn't happen enough. And as much as I have PTSD, I also say, there has to be a way to make a sexual advance correctly. Now, am I an expert in making sexual advances? No, I'm rusty as fuck. Which is why I had to have this sexual surrogate remind me, dude, you were fucking hot. Get your leg over. Get your leg over, as we would say that. I'm I don't belong here. I belong in the United Kingdom, and as much as I am doing everything in my power to make a change here in America, I am my resolve to put up with this bullshit is just slowly being eroded away. Eroded, because I look at Canada and the Canadians that I like, and they're so hot and so fuckable and so friendly, and I want to put my dick inside them. So I don't know. It's like super super fucking difficult. Like there's a part of me that just says I want to be an international nasty girl, but I'm so much of a nerd that I would say, well, yeah, but I have to go to Mars before I can, be a slut. But then, Mars would take a while, or maybe not. As hard as it must be, I must be resolute. Green Future Go needs an office, and I need to do consultations with as many people as possible to explain to them how the world works. Wow, wow, wow. I'm sorry. Bow, wow, wow. Yippee yo, yippee yay. Hello there, Wolf. Welcome to the channel. So, I'm mostly talking about today how I want to be more of a slut, more promiscuous, but also more focused on saving lives for the better, changing lives for the better. I said saving lives for the better. I don't know. I'm all fucked up because I think of California and this constant endeavor to shock me every fucking day. Shock me every fucking day. It's just like cattle prod, cattle prod, cattle prod, cattle prod. And I'm not a cow. I'm a person. I have rights. Which is why the United Nations is investigating how United States is treating me and maybe even how California is behaving. Because as much as California has a reason for it or think it's justified, it's like "We're protecting you." It's just, could you protect me with hot white guys? Could you protect me with muscular hot white guys? Could you protect me with their penises in my mouth? Because I feel very safe when I have a penis in my mouth, which is very strange because the men I suck off are so so not the type for broad daylight. I'm a hoe, okay? I'm about it. I'm about it. Like that Native American Willie Nelson stuck his thick cock in my mouth, and I'm just like, yes, yes, God. It was nice. It was nice. His semen wasn't, but it's luck of the draw. If you could talk to more men about nutrition, their semen would taste better. It just would. Like, if men got it into their head that their semen actually has to taste good if you want a blowjob. I make my semen taste amazing. I check my vintage. I stand by my product. But I don't know. I guess I'm a little nervous because, this is putting myself out there. This is maybe connecting to something, and I'm not about commitments. I mean, by making Mars now in California, I've kind of married California. That's the truth of it. I could move Mars now, but that's just robbery too. So I am stuck here with these fucking weird ass people. Hi, I'm a communist. Well, good for you. I'm as well. Now, I know as a veteran you're not supposed to say that because it's America. True and true. It's like, no, think about it clearly now. Okay, you're injured, you can't work anymore, and daddy government, after fucking you against your will, is paying you like a whore. That's communism. That's communism. That's socialism and communism. Woof woof, you bastard. Also, it doesn't make sense, capitalism in this new world. I mean, food is food, and it just comes to things like housing and utilities that people are stuck. People are stuck in this mindset that I pay someone to make a phone call. Really? You pay to make a phone call? Who are you calling? Customer service? Isn't that something you text now? Do you still need to call someone? Oh well, you're calling your friends and family. Don't you see your friends and family? Who are you calling? Who are you calling really? Because they charge you an exorbitant amount of money for that brick, that radioactive brick that you stick by your bowls. You might want to reconsider that. What's going on with the background? Oh, this. It's from an upcoming song that I have coming out. I'm a musician. Yes, capitalism doesn't make sense. We need Karl Marx. Are you a Republican? I'm an independent. I'm an independent because I don't agree with either of them. I am of that mindset of, you know what we do need to do in America? We need to reestablish what personal space is. We need to reestablish what private domain is. And we need to secure public space like we've never done before. We need to tell people, I don't want to say this. Oh, I don't. But I'm going to say it anyway. We need to tell people in public spaces, you're going to get fucking hippie. You're going to get a fucking communal attitude. This whole idea of you're in a public space and you could just do whatever the fuck you want. It's like no, 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 no. Like how many of these like terrorist events or whatever that we have going on with the TSA would be solved if they actually lived a little bit more like Middle Eastern people, and it's just like wear nice long flowing outfits and let your balls air out and just I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. No luggage. No luggage. No no wallets. Nothing. Mm. I want to get to a place that does that. That literally says, sure, you can fly. Take off your clothes in a nice enclosed area where you feel, safe. Wash, scrub yourself down, put on this outfit, and then sit, sip some champagne, and get to your destination. Your stuff is waiting for you there. No luggage. Wake up, people. Wake up. That makes a lot more sense. Or, it makes sense to just say the vanity of, I have five luggage. How much luggage do you have? Oh, I just have the carry-on. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. A no luggage policy. A no luggage policy. That makes sense. If you start telling people you can't bring anything on a plane, what about my medication? Well, look, if you need medication, then the fucking plane should have a pharmacy. Don't worry, we'll have your prescription there. Oh, and cameras everywhere, and your doctor's gonna sign off for it. Your doctor's gonna drop that off. Nothing. Nothing on a plane. Nothing on a plane. You want to put snakes on a plane? Look at that film, Snakes on a Plane. How the snakes get on the plane? It's not exactly like they suddenly grew wings and then went up the hatch. No, someone put a duffel bag full of snakes. Another person put a duffel bag, and the TSA said, "I'm going on lunch break," and all shit fucking like unleashed. It's like, why? Why? All right. I am not lesbian. Okay. I'm half indigenous Native American. Support my people. I will say this as often as possible. We need to make some changes in America and roll with the times. Roll with the times. Because as much as people blame China for COVID, they don't blame American businessmen for fucking going to China and saying, I'm going to make that deal and breathing that same air, eating that food, associating with people who are probably sick. We don't talk about how products that are being made in that area were shipped here and no one did any protocols. No one did anything. And that's something we can address. Oh my god, with the fucking updates. Sorry about that. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of that whole thing. Woof, you bastard. Hello, Aura. Oh my god. We got some new people here. Change topic. No, I'm talking about just border control. We have Republicans that say, we want tough borders. I'm like, really? Because, your policies are a lambskin condom and it bursts and no one's calling you on it. Republicans with your border control. Woof, you bastard. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. But no, I have to continue on with this examination of American foreign policy, which is you give a lot of foreign aid and you don't invest in protecting American infrastructure. When you tell people in the TSA, watch out for explosive devices, watch out for, liquids, watch out for that. But you don't train them to say, could you also scan for viruses? Could you also scan for bacteria, fungi? Could you scan for, invasive species? Could you scan for that? Because I think you need to. I think we need to elevate or upgrade, is I guess the better way to say that, because I'm like, elevate your conscience. Okay. Do you have PTSD? I definitely have PTSD. You can tell because I am just so scattered and all over the place, but extremely focused on, I guess, my prime directive because I am a veteran, which means I am an American robot programmed to protect America. I am a robot. That's what that really means. I said some vows and now I'm forever stuck being Captain America to the country that sexually abused me. But I always have a say in it, you know? You You always have a say. The government is a very, very powerful entity in many people's lives, but you have a say in it. You are the government. It may not look that way because you live in whatever city you live in, and you know, you think all the powers in Washington. Is like, no, the power's in you. The power's in you, in your town. If you went to your town hall and spoke to people and said, I want to install COVID detectors across the town's borders, they put it to a vote. They put it to a vote. It's that simple. They say yes or no, yes or no. But you can at least offer that to them. You can offer them a solution to this seasonal deadly flu, which makes a lot more sense than just saying, CDC, do something, you lazy fox, because they are lazy fox. And I will call them on that because they have failed every single pandemic. They failed HIV, they failed monkeypox, they failed COVID. All of these outbreaks happen and they just say, oh my God, that is awful. Oh my God. And it decimates gay people a lot. And that just doesn't sit well with me. And I was supposed to make a separate agency for my gay men's health, but no, I'm just folding that into Green Future Go. But because it's all about conservation of gay people, saving them from these heartless people who make decisions for them that aren't really in their best interests. When you decide not to scan for the sigma proteins that are on the COVID virus and not install that across the country, you're saying that the undetectable can still infect people. If you don't quarantine properly, you're allowing infections to happen. And you need these infections to happen to justify your fucking bill. The bill for all your shiny equipment, all of your personnel, all of the late nights. It's like, oh, I'm working overtime at CDC. Oh my God, champagne, fancy dinners. I work harder than the CDC. I work harder. I don't get paid anywhere near what they're paid. And that has to end. Okay, so I am going for that Surgeon General job. Whether or not I'm qualified for it is for the people to decide. But I care more about public health than the CDC or your Surgeon General because I tell it to people straight. You need to make systemic changes throughout society. You have to rise to the occasion when it comes to these sudden dangers. If they knew that there was a virus spreading in that province of China, we should have closed our borders completely. We should have told people, you know what? Your Xbox or your whatever plasticky thing that you stare into as it flashes lights at you, we're going to have to make that here. And whatever munitions factory that we're using to build tanks for God knows whatever reason, we're just going to make Xboxes here. I have to maybe do some research on whether or not a company like Microsoft did that during COVID. Whether or not they actually said, no, we actually have to build this right here. pay American people an American wage to build it right here. I'll check up on that because I'm gonna have to start talking to major corporations from my fancy new office. That was timed perfectly. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm gonna have to call up these companies and say, yeah, you need to stop pulling out of this. It's cheaper to build it over there. It's like, no, no, no. Because when you build it over there, that shit can happen anytime. Because that is sweaty, overworked, malnourished, overcrowded. People in the worst health are making your fancy, fancy gadgets. So when they get sick, that's all over your stuff. So, in the interest of protecting American lives, I would say you need to break some fucking trade agreements and say we need backup factories. Still make the stuff over there because why not? But you need some backup factories. You need to also have more warehouses. You need to upgrade your warehouses. I am not the Surgeon General. I have to come up with a new title because, I guess I can't be Surgeon General. Public health advocate. I am the public health advocate. Okay, so we need to go into some of these warehouses and not only install that COVID scanner, but also institute true clean rooms. Clean rooms. They go into work, they do their business, they come out sanitized. People already work, like double shifts in these warehouse. They're exposing themselves to a lot. I cannot believe this shit. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I just get so fucking upset. I had a phone call in the middle of a podcast. I can't believe this. I mean, yeah, it's not really that professional. I need to dedicate more focus to doing my podcast. But we were talking about warehouses. The old idea of people can, wear what they want, they can do what they want. It's like, no, not in this world anymore. Individuality almost has to be cast aside in favor of utilitarianism. If it functions, that's what it is. You should be wearing a hazmat suit working in a warehouse. You can make it a fashionable wear a hazmat suit. You can color code it. I don't care what the fuck you have to do, but they should have done that. Talk about PPE, personal protection equipment. To have something like that put into practice is it's difficult because people don't want to change. You show them the death toll from COVID, and people just say, well, it didn't get me. I can continue on with life as it was before. It's like, no, life changed. Just like 9/11. 9/11 happened, and now we have the TSA. People reacted to that. People aren't reacting to COVID. They're not. They're not reacting to this because they see it as, well, we had the Spanish flu, we had AIDS, we had all of this. Some of us got through it. Some of us got through it. Human life is precious, and your country should be fighting to preserve it, preserve your way of life. But that will not happen if we refuse to change. Do you think those people in Intel are, wearing short shorts and kiss me I'm Irish shirts? No, they're wearing clean room suits because they don't want to get static electricity on the electronics they're building there. They're prepared for this. They're moving into the future, and the rest of the country doesn't want to move into the future. So you have to make that choice. Either change it toward personal protection equipment or just have robots do it. Robots going to do it anyway, so it's safer, it's cleaner. Something to think about. I'm all over the place with my topics today, but I always land on this. I am a public health advocate. I think we have to make some changes. We have to make some changes to how we relate to one another and how we do business, because the cost of shipping items from other countries is high. I'm Ian Ileona. I am an environmentalist, mutant, werewolf, proud owner of Mars Now and Green Future Go, the organization for the protection and conservation of mutants, werewolves, and vampires. I hope to see you on the next podcast.